Boxing was a new and segregated sport. Johnson's opportunities were limited. The title of heavyweight champion of the world was only a few years old, yet it already held a symbolic importance in a racially divided America.
At that time, there had been 5 white heavyweight champions: Sullivan, Corbett, Fitzsimmons, Jeffries, and Tommy Burns. Jack Johnson had to chase Tommy Burns all over the world in order to get a shot at the heavyweight championship. The public did not want a black man to be the heavyweight champion of the world.
Tommy Burns, the reigning heavyweight champion, refused to face challenger Jack Johnson, not only for fear of losing his title, but also because Johnson was black.
It was in 1905 that Jack Johnson started looking for Tommy Burns.
Johnson and his manager Sam Fitzpatrick borrowed thousands of dollars and pursued the champion in France, England, and then finally back in Sydney, Australia. Finally, in 1908, after seeing both Burns and Johnson in action, some English reporters wrote that Johnson was Burns' master. Jack Johnson was ecstatic over the public pressure, and Tommy Burns was visibly upset. The champion tried eluding Jack by heading for France and then Australia, but Jack Johnson followed him everywhere. Promoter Hugh McIntosh guaranteed Burns $30,000, while Jack Johnson received $5,000. For the first time in history, a black man was fighting for the heavyweight championship of the world.
26,000 fans hold their breath.
By the normal standard of height, there have been 50 professional heavyweights, mostly over 6 foot tall. Johnson rushes in and scores with a punishing left at the end of round 1. Johnson rushes in and holds Burns as he talks to ringsiders, laughing all the time.
They would send him letters saying, "You fighting a white man, and nigger, if you knock him out, we'll kill you." He said, "Just kill my black buggers, I'm going to knock this white man cold."
At every one of Burns' title defenses. As Tommy fought, Johnson would sit there screaming insults, taunting the champion. His high voice stood out like a beacon light at ringside.
Jack Johnson, the world's greatest defensive fighter, who won the title from me.
Which have Burns helpless. At this very moment, in the early seconds of round 14, the police shut off the motion picture cameras and stepped into the ring, awarding the heavyweight championship of the world to Jack Johnson.
On that day in 1908, Jack Johnson effectively erased the color bar and made white society re-examine itself. Losing the heavyweight championship to a black man left America stunned.
Jack Johnson had accomplished what no black man had before him. But even though he was a hero among his own people, the white American public eagerly awaited his downfall.
The press and the public united in a search to find any white fighter capable of beating him. Desperate to find a snappy slogan, one newspaper coined the phrase, "The Great White Hope."
Jack Johnson's first heavyweight title defense was against middleweight champion Stanley Ketchel. Johnson wanted to fight undefeated former champion James J. Jeffries, but through 1909, the Great White Hope remained retired. The press also criticized Jack for not defending against black contender Sam Langford. They felt that Johnson was now giving Langford the same treatment Burns and Jeffries had given him. With this controversial backdrop, Jack Johnson readied himself for Stanley Ketchel. The champion outweighed the challenger by 35 pounds.
Though only a middleweight, Ketchel is flamboyant and fearless.
He was one black man in the midst of all them rednecks which kill lynch Negroes every day. Wasn't no Black Panthers, wasn't no bodyguards, there was no television, wasn't no telephone. And that Negro was doing all this stuff in them days. He was bad when you think about it.
By round 9, Ketchel is exhausted. Courage, raw courage, keeps him on his feet.
For his time, he was a defensive genius. Since he wasn't elusive with his body or his feet, he just caught the punches at the air.
Johnson stands off and flicks stinging left jabs. Ketchel looks for that one punch. Johnson steps back from a wild left and then ties up the challenger.
Stanley Ketchel. That's right. He's a badass. Good punch. Yeah, he's a badass.
Ketchel throws an overhand right, and Johnson goes down. Ketchel has done it. Johnson rolls over and rises. And then lightning strikes. Ketchel is down. In slow motion, all of Ketchel's weight is behind one looping right. Slowly, Johnson begins to gather himself. He seems dazed. Ketchel's confidence soars.